They don't know how to take advantage of this moment. Hey, we can do it. No different than, hey, we bought up some golfers for the Live Golf League. Hey, you know what? America and Americans, they're so stupid.
Caitlin Clark versus the WNBA, a battle of talent, respect, and fair play. In one corner, a rookie sensation. In the other, a league struggling to keep its star. Who will come out on top in this clash that's got ESPN in a frenzy? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark. This girl just exploded onto the WNBA scene like a supernova. You know what's crazy? She's breaking records left and right. Her jersey sales? Through the roof. She's outselling legends like Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. That's insane. But wait, there's more. Imagine this. Clark shows up, and suddenly, the Indiana Fever's attendance jumps 400%.
We don't do things that protect our interest in our way. We play defense. We just try to conserve. We don't build.
The WNBA's new golden girl, right? Well, hold on to your seats, because this fairy tale's about to take a wild turn. You won't believe what happened next. What if I told you that this rising star was about to make a decision that would send shockwaves through the entire sports world? Yeah, you heard that right. The WNBA's darling is about to become its biggest headache. Clark's frustration was reaching a boiling point. Remember when she mentioned feeling like a punching bag on the court? That was just the beginning. What could push a rising star to consider leaving it all behind?
Adam Silver, Kathy Engelbert, the people running the NBA and the WNBA, they are idiots. They don't know how to maximize this Caitlin Clark gift.
You know how they say success comes at a price? Well, for Caitlin Clark, that price was getting hammered on the court. And I'm not talking about a little rough play here and there. No, this was next level stuff. Picture this. Clark's out there doing her thing, breaking records left and right. But behind all those highlight reels, there's a darker story. She's getting beat up play after play, and the refs? They're just watching it happen. Clark didn't mince words about it either. She straight up said, "I feel like I'm getting hammered, and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with." Can you imagine? The league's new superstar, and she's feeling like nobody's got her back.
We have a gift here in Caitlin Clark. Again, and I don't know fully where Caitlin Clark stands. She may be a closeted feminist.
It wasn't just a bad game or two. This was happening night after night. Dirty plays, missed calls. It was like open season on Clark. And let me tell you, it wasn't pretty. We're talking about plays that would make you wince just watching them. But here's the kicker. The league wasn't doing anything about it. It's like they forgot they had a golden goose on their hands. Clark was out there bringing in fans by the thousands, and the WNBA couldn't even make sure she was protected on the court. You want to know how bad it got? Clark said it felt like a street fight out there. A street fight in a professional basketball league. That's not what you sign up for when you're drafted number 1 overall. And it wasn't just the physical toll. Imagine working your butt off day in and day out, only to feel like you're getting punished for it on the court. That's got to mess with your head, right? The more Clark shined, the more it seemed like everyone was out to get her. Opponents were targeting her, refs were ignoring it, and the league? Well, they were too busy counting their money to notice their star player was getting crushed. You've got to wonder, at what point does a player say, enough is enough? How long can someone take that kind of treatment before they start looking for a way out? Just when everyone thought Clark was trapped, she pulled off a move that left ESPN and the WNBA in shock. How did she manage to flip the script on an entire league? Well, buckle up, because this is where things get wild. Caitlin Clark just dropped a bombshell that's got the entire sports world buzzing. She's not just leaving the WNBA, she's heading to Europe. Yeah, you heard that right. The girl who was breaking records and selling out arenas in America is taking her talents across the pond. Now, you might be thinking, wait, what about her WNBA career? That's exactly what ESPN and the WNBA are asking themselves right now. They're in full-on panic mode. I mean, can you blame them? Clark was their golden goose, and now she's flying the coop. But here's the kicker. Clark's not just leaving, she's leaving with a bang. Get this, she's got a $28 million contract with Nike. We're talking an 8-year deal and her own signature shoe. That's more than most WNBA players make in their entire careers. ESPN's reaction? Total meltdown. They're scrambling to figure out how they're going to fill the Caitlin Clark-sized hole in their coverage. And the WNBA? They're probably kicking themselves for not doing more to keep her happy. Remember how Clark was feeling like a punching bag on the court? Well, looks like she found a way to punch back. By signing with a European team, she's basically saying, if you can't treat me right, I'll find someone who will. This move isn't just about money, though. It's about respect. It's about fair play. Clark's sending a message loud and clear. Players should put their well-being and career satisfaction first. And if a league doesn't value them, well, there are other options out there. You know what's really wild about all this? The irony. ESPN and the WNBA are suddenly pretending to care now that Clark's ditching them for Europe. It's like they didn't realize what they had until it was gone. This whole situation is shining a spotlight on some big issues in women's basketball. Why did it take Clark leaving for people to start talking about player treatment and fair officiating? It's like the WNBA was so focused on marketing their new star that they forgot to actually take care of. Clark's departure left a crater in the WNBA, and now everyone's scrambling. But get this, the league's biggest loss could turn into its biggest win. Want to know how a disaster might just revolutionize women's basketball? Let's talk about the aftermath of Clark's bombshell decision. The WNBA is in full-on crisis mode, and for good reason. They just lost their most marketable player, the one who was bringing in fans by the thousands and selling merch like crazy. It's like they had a golden ticket and just watched it fly out the window. You know what's really wild? Clark's exit is shining a spotlight on some deep issues in the league. We're talking about player treatment, officiating, the whole 9 yards. Remember how Clark felt like a punching bag on the court? Well, now everyone's asking why the league didn't do more to protect its star player. And here's where it gets complicated. Some people are saying Clark's popularity was all about race. Can you believe that? They're suggesting she got special treatment because of her skin color. But Clark's not having any of that. She's made it clear. Her success comes from hard work, not her race. Now ESPN is losing their minds over this whole situation. They're realizing they might have just lost their biggest draw for women's basketball. Imagine being the network that's supposed to cover the WNBA, and suddenly your main attraction is playing in Europe. Talk about a scheduling nightmare. But here's the thing. Clark's decision isn't just about her. It's sending shockwaves through the entire league. Other players are watching this go down, and you can bet they're taking notes. If the WNBA's biggest star felt she had to leave to get fair treatment, what does that say about the league as a whole? This whole mess is forcing the WNBA to take a hard look in the mirror. They're realizing they can't just ride on the coattails of their stars. They need to actually take care of them. We're talking better officiating, fairer treatment, maybe even better pay. It's like Clark's exit is the wake-up call the league needed. You want to know the craziest part? This disaster might actually end up saving women's basketball. Yeah, you heard that right. The WNBA is being forced to confront its problems head-on. They can't ignore the issues anymore. Not when their biggest star just walked away. So, what does this mean for the future of women's basketball? Well, it could go two ways. Either the WNBA steps up its game, makes some real changes, and creates a league where stars like Clark want to play. Or we might see more players following in Clark's footsteps, looking for better opportunities overseas. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark's game-changing move. This girl just flipped the script on the entire WNBA. She went from being the league's golden child to its biggest headache in record time. You know what's crazy? She's not just leaving. She's heading to Europe with a $28 million Nike deal in her pocket. Clark's not messing around. She straight up said she's not going to be a punching bag anymore. And you know what? That's got other players thinking. If Clark can walk away and still make bank, why can't they? This whole situation's got the WNBA sweating bullets. They're realizing they can't just ride on star power. They've got to actually take care of their players. So here's the million-dollar question. Is Clark's European adventure going to force the WNBA to step up, or are we about to see a mass exodus of talent?